Well, hello everyone and welcome back. It has indeed been a good while since I've made a video. I've had a new job that takes me away from the house for most of the week, and so I'm a little limited when I do have time to make videos, but I'm going to try to get back into a more consistent groove moving forward. So stick around for this video. We're going to talk about what I hinted at in the last video I did, which was a series of videos based on the idea that fish are tougher than we think. And in this video, I want to talk about whether putting oxygen in a fish bag really does anything. So stick around for that. Okay, so the idea for this video really came about because I used to work more consistently, but I still work occasionally at a local fish store, and a lot of people are really concerned about transporting their fish from the fish store to their home aquarium, and they really want oxygen put into the fish bag so that their fish don't die. So that's where the idea for this video came from. So I want to talk about a little bit more about whether that actually does anything. So we can first establish a few basic ideas. Fish breathe dissolved oxygen in the water. So in our aquariums, we usually have a hang on the back filter that's causing surface agitation, that's oxygenating the water, maybe an air stone or a sponge filter or a canister filter, some sort of filtration that's providing surface agitation that is oxygenating the water. So knowing that fish breathe dissolved oxygen, why would putting oxygen in a bag do anything? Because there isn't an air stone in the bag, so there is no real surface agitation going on unless you're physically shaking that bag a lot, which I imagine most people don't do because the stress that would be caused on the fish would outweigh any positive benefits of agitating the water and adding oxygen to the water in the bag. So in order to come up with a better understanding of this question, I tried to do some research, but I will admit that I didn't find very many definitive answers. There was one video that I watched where the person claims that while oxygen in the bag doesn't provide more oxygen in the water for the fish, this person claims that CO2 builds in the bag, so because of the biological processes of the fish being in the water, CO2 is being released into the atmosphere under normal circumstances, but in the bag it's trapped. It can't escape the water as readily because it's a closed atmosphere. So he claims that the oxygen that you put in the bag helps the process of the CO2 being released into the atmosphere of the bag, which in turn reduces the likelihood of an increase in carbonic acid, which would then lower your pH in the bag, which is a problem that many people do experience, as a pH crash in the bag, though that typically occurs when you open the bag. So under this idea, if the fish is going to be in the bag for an hour or two or more, it could be a good idea to add a little oxygen. In order to play devil's advocate, however, I would argue that it's probably better just to make sure that fish are properly fasted before they're shipped for long periods of time, reducing the likelihood that they're going to be emitting a significant amount of waste that's going to significantly impact the pH in the bag. I think that's probably a bigger component of that puzzle of keeping a fish alive over a long shipment period rather than oxygen in the bag. I don't think the oxygen in the bag is all that important. Fasting the fish properly before they're shipped is probably more important in my experience and in my opinion. If you have a thought on that, please feel free to let me know in the comments down below. This is, as I said, not a definitive conclusion on this topic from the research I was able to do. So if you have opinions, please feel free to share them so other people might learn. So just to conclude this video and try not to make it too long, the main point of this video again is that fish are tougher than we usually give them credit for. People will often say, I'm going to be taking a 45-minute drive home. Can you please put oxygen in the bag? The simple truth is that fish is going to be fine without oxygen in the bag. It's really not necessary. It's more for your peace of mind as a fish keeper than it is for the fish. I promise you, if you're driving 45 minutes, that fish is going to be fine, assuming that you're not putting it in a freezer on the way home, which I doubt you're going to do. So the fish would be fine, and the oxygen is really not doing anything in that case, in my opinion and in my experience. And just to demonstrate how tough fish are, I'll just conclude with a little story. One day we came into the fish store, the local fish store, and there was a bucket on one of the counters, and we looked in there and there was just barely an inch of water with a pretty big discus, not quite full grown, but significant size discus. In that 1 inch of water, still alive and doing fine. It later turned out that the people working the night before were bagging a discus up, and somehow, I don't know how exactly, but when they went to bag the fish, they didn't realize that the fish didn't go in the bag. So that discus was there for at least 16 hours in barely an inch of water on its side, and it was alive. We put it back in a tank and it did fine. So just to conclude, fish are quite tough. I don't think oxygen is really that much of a benefit when you're bagging fish and taking them home, especially if you're just coming from a local fish store. And I'm not really convinced that it does a whole lot for when you're even shipping longer periods of time, days, for instance. I think there's other components that are more important, such as properly fastening the fish so that the water in the bag doesn't get polluted, and making sure that the temperature stays as consistent as you can and it doesn't get too cold in the case of shipping tropical fish or saltwater fish. So I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit of a video. Thank you for watching. As always, please consider liking and subscribing. Have a good day. We'll see you next time. Bye.